Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host with the most, let's call and today maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. This was supposed to be an episode that was released on Wednesday, but we had some technical difficulties and hence it couldn't be released. It being released on a Thursday. So it's all random, right? So this is the name of the segment. So I think maybe let me explain why it's called all random, the segment. And I've been toying around with a lot of titles because no specific title has ever stick with the Wednesday segment. You remember at some point, I think we used to have woman, woman, woman crush Wednesday. I think we used to have that, and before that we used to have something else. But all those didn't stick. I don't even remember some of the names, but all those never really sticked. But I think the reason behind the episode it's all random. It's because we always between Monday and Tuesday we always speak about music, and Friday it's all about the music that's coming out, the culture. Don't like it's always about we've always been a center of like music, artistry, art. We've always been talking about that. I think with this Wednesday and Thursday, I'm trying to introduce something that's so different from Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I'm trying to introduce something that's so different from that to be more inclusive of what's happening in the world, right? So, for instance, if I may, I think regarding what's happening in South Korea, the martial law that was declared, I think the day before yesterday or yesterday. No, it was yesterday. Uh, the Yoon is the president of South Korea. He declared the he declared the martial law, which is a rule. It's a rule which is imposed by the leading party and enforced by the military. Right. So and this is like the sixth republic emergency. So there's been six before this one, and the last one being around 1988, if I'm not mistaken, being around 1988. So there's a lot of there's a lot of perspectives, or there's a lot of different aspects to like there's a lot of stories surrounding this. Let me just say that there's a lot of stories surrounding that, right? And to try like I've gathered not enough, but not enough to make up what this is and reach the one decision, but I think it's enough to give you guys a skeleton of what's going on. So I think one thing that I found shocking when I was looking at this entire story, when I was researching. So I didn't know who's in South Korea. I was speaking to two friends of mine who currently live in South Korea, and one lives in Busan, right? One lives in Busan. The other I forgot where he lives. So Seoul is where this thing is taking place, right? So everybody that you've seen on the internet, the lady that was fighting the police, not being afraid of the guns, that it that's in Seoul, right? So at some point, I think we saw on the internet, or we saw articles or blogs in the internet saying Gucci, the military was, the parliament staff was barricading the parliament, and the military had to use, then the military had to use windows to try and get access to the parliament, and officially they did get access to the parliament. And with the martial law, it overthrows all civil rights. So if police want to arrest you, they have a right to do that. If they feel like you're a spy, they have a right to do whatever they want, because that's the martial law. It overthrows what? Civil rights. So it's been over fully 3 years since the last emergency, republic emergency. It's the last. So according to the president himself, him declaring the martial law was because of North Korea. But so the speculations around North Korea that North Korea might be doing A, B, and C. I don't remember per se what was the cause. He was like, see, he was saying which is protecting the country from North Korea. So with that comes, okay, we are doing that and we are banning all activities, political activity, media activities. And he says he's trying to eliminate all anti-state elements. I get it. And there's another fraternity or like another section or another department or faculty of people or commentary that says it was a tactic to fend off the political attacks on his presidency because a lot of the people in the opposing party, which I think they have about 173 seats in the parliament that has 300 seats. And the the question that I had and the question that I asked my friend is how does it happen that Yoon leads but he has less seats in parliament? Because this is where I come from with this. I'm like, how can they have more seats? Me, if you have more seats, you have more say so. You may have more say so in the parliament. So if I'm the president, say of South Korea, I'm Yoon, then I propose an idea to Parliament to say, Parliament, we are trying to like buy a jet for the military in Dondon, North Korea is here, they might attempt, let's buy that, let's add on security. And I propose it to Parliament, and they all say no. They say no, not necessary, not necessary. We can't waste state resources on something that we are not sure of, right? She gets fed up. It's happening, right? So he's saying Guguti now. This is another side, by the way. But he's saying now, they say he's saying Guti, okay, why are all these people of the opposing party trying to sabotage the ideas that I have? I'm like, well, what do you expect? They have 173 seats, and if they have the willpower, they'll try and sabotage whatever you're trying to do. After all, they are your competition, the opposing party, right? So I'm like, what's the dynamic? How does he then, if there's certain decisions that he has to take and the opposing party doesn't agree with them, but he's like the president? And that's one question that I have to ask myself, Ruti, like, how does that then work? Right? Because if the opposing party is 173 seats, and whenever you get in the remainder, it's not a lot, and they have the willpower to sway whatever you're trying to or sabotage whatever you're trying to build. And from what I've gathered from my friends is Yoon is not the most famous person or the most popular person or president in the country. Not a lot of people like him. And I would use the likeness of Trump to say, look at the the story of Trump within like the period where they were like, you know, election time and all the mess was happening. And the media was not for Donald Trump, right? Media was not for Donald Trump, saying bad things about Donald Trump. And at some points, even I myself didn't like the guy because of the information that was fed to me about Donald Trump, right? So, same story happened with Yoon, but now the question then becomes, Uguti, there's another, before I tell you this, there's another commentary that said, Uguti, Yoon, not only the opposing political party, so the opposing political party, they want you to step down, right? Or because the majority rules, majority rule. So you has to, overturn the decision of the marshal's law. He has to, like, pull it down, right? But Yoon doesn't want that, right? Because, like I said, there are, like, he's trying to fend off the political attacks on his presidency by lifting that down. More attacks come through. But the reason that he gave the media, not even his political party is in support of the decision of the marshals law. And furthermore, they say ukuthi if he decides that he doesn't wanna retract the martial law, there's going to be protests all across the country. And you don't want that. Nobody wants that. Right? So I hope it doesn't get there. I think with also this, it kind of like did open up a big hole, unless if there's a strategy that they're working on as to how to control the narrative to tell his side of the story, because now we are getting all these, and given that he's unpopular with the media, it's a bit hard for you to get his, because sometimes you have to listen to the person speak, and you're like, yeah, I'm sold by what he's selling. I'm sold by what he's selling. But if he's talking and you're like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So I need for him to be in the media more independent media. By the way, I don't know if South Korea has YouTube, but I think they need to utilize platforms like those, communicate through those channels with people there. Same way Trump did. Because traditional media wasn't for him. It was always saying, but he was able to speak to streamers. He was with that other guy, Aiden Ross. He was with Aiden Ross on a stream. Interview went well. He went to Joe Rogan. Interview went well. Everybody's talking about Trump. Everybody likes Trump. Elon Musk co-signs. Entire thing blows up. He should do the same thing. Voice his opinion on those independent platforms. With I think it doesn't have to be with like the smartest person in the room, but because even interview with like the smartest people in the room, we're like we only relevant to that market, right? When like maybe a business person who has a platform that's independent, they're only relevant to that, you know, that age group, maybe 25 to 35 or whatever the case, or 27 to 35. You understand? But you need to scale when you do that. It was like, how do we cover all bases, right? So that's another aspect to it. All, all, all age gaps or age groups must be covered. That should be the aim. To the cool guys, the cool platforms, he has to go there. The not so cool guys, you need to go there. You need to do all those press runs, right? Tell me what you think about what I just told you. Is it a sabotage? Do you think it's a sabotage or self sabotage? Tell me what you think about that. I'm your host, the Tamu Mustafa M, Daily 40, aka Shisha, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Kyle. It's all random. It's the name of the segment. Do you ever know what you think about it in the comment section? This story is very, very interesting, right? So, do you think we need to do more of such? Might not be politically inclined or whatever the case, but just to speak about all things random, like randomly speak about sports, swimming, or whatever is happening around the world, and try and dissect. What do you think? Do let me know in the comment section, man. I received the Spotify rap, right? Received the Spotify rap, and yeah, man, I got to see everything. Shout out to everybody that listens to the podcast. It was only in a bit. So shout out to everybody that's supporting the podcast, supporting the movement, and everybody that's listening to Congo, Nigeria, Kazakhstan. I think that's how you say it. Kazakhstan, people in SA, people in Swatini, Lesotho, Botswana, UAE, then Congo. I don't know if we're back in Congo, but even in Congo, I think at some point. So shout out to everybody that's showing love to the podcast, and you can only imagine where we would be if we had all access to like the resource, the cameras, the cameras, like the camera. I mean, like the equipment, the whole entire. Can only imagine where would where we would be, but it all takes time and patience. But nonetheless, I do appreciate you guys having to listen to every episode. What is your favorite segment? You let me know. We do have Monday movie review. We do have cartoons Tuesday, Wednesday. We have it's all random. Still thinking about what Thursday could be. Friday, it's new music. New music Friday. Do let me know which is your favorite segment. I'm your host at the most Lesego M didn't put, aka she just shut it. Maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy. Kyle, have an amazing day. Cheers.